What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.
Oh, yeah. Welcome one. Welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is the NFC North Talk with your host, me. That's Russell Wayne. And actually, Mike, Main Event Mike, is on the line right now. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, I'm doing great, Russ. I'm writing a new song.
You're writing a new song right now? What's the song called?
I am. I can't find anything to. It's about the Green Bay Packers, and I can't get anything to rhyme with what rhymes with douchebag fans.
Well, we are talking just straight up Detroit Lions. We're only broadcasting into the Detroit Lions villain squad and the Detroit Lions news because I'm looking through the other news and there's not much other news other than the Lions going and destroying the Giants in practice number 1. Hopefully they can keep it up right here. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure. all the reports out of training camp that both sides of the ball, the Lions were absolutely dominating the Giants. Of course, the Giants are a playoff team and the Lions were not. So it sounds like the Lions are picking right up where they left off. And you can imagine, right? And I know that you and I have never been NFL players or anything, but I mean, you can imagine how excited these guys must be to line up against someone who's not on their team, right? So all that momentum from the 8-2 finish down the stretch sounds like the Lions are taking it out on the Giants, and it's just great.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And the things that they are saying right now, another thing I wanted to talk about today too was Louis Riddick says that the Lions' Kirby Joseph is going to make Patrick Mahomes' life really, really hard in week 1, and thinks that the Lions could surprise the Kansas City Chiefs in week 1. What do you think about the Louis Riddick take?
Well, you know, he's saying the same thing we are. A lot of pundits are saying the same thing. Did you hear Patrick Mahomes' comments on it?
I didn't.
Patrick Mahomes says this team is coached to win. They are hungry to win, and we can't expect the Detroit Lions scared. We don't expect them to be scared. We expect them hungry, ready to fight, ready to win. When was the last time someone said that about the Lions?
Well, I mean, he didn't have to say that about the Lions, and that's what the cool thing is. And we will start broadcasting into the other spots here, but I wanted to start it out here just in the Lions group to give the Lions fans that are on here on the Detroit Lions News and the Villain Squad a chance to really chime in and give us your thoughts on practicing against each other is one thing, but going up against other teams, and they dominated all 3. You know, we're talking team 1, team 2, team 3, all 3 phases. They dominated, especially on the the second and third team, just because our second and third team guys are as good as starters. So there's really no competition down in the depth against this team.
My favorite comment coming out of the joint practice yesterday was that C.J. Gardner-Johnson actually was chirping at saying he was soft and that he lacked grit, and that's why you aren't in Detroit anymore. Wow.
Yeah. I actually have some of the comments in here already, and this is great. I'm not even really streaming into anything for the other teams, but we have some great color fans of this show that are on here, like Bear Down Mike is in there saying good morning. It doesn't matter if we're only streaming in the Lions. We are doing NFC North. This is still an NFC North show, but it seemed like the Lions kind of dominated the headlines. There really wasn't much in the other 3. I mean, you guys are practicing, so I mean that's always good, but this is the big news now.
They sold out. They sold out their practice, Russ. Let's be fair.
They sold out their practice of all those free tickets.
Yeah. No, I believe they were $10. But if you paper calling you an NFL owner, you were able to get a good seat, from what I understand.
Oh, you're talking about the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. Hey,
yeah, they sold out. They sold out their practice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm still in Monday night mode.
Yeah, you are in Monday night mode, and it is like a typical Homer Lions fan take to knock on another team for having their fans show up for their team and pay money and sell the place out. That shows you how good the Green Bay Packer fans are, because they show up no matter what, right? Or is that just, are we just going to make fun of them?
Well, if I owned the team, I'd show up too.
Yeah, you own the team. That part you can make fun of them for. Adam McIntyre says that he's so ready for the season. Jason MC's in there again. Skull Vikings. And Robert says, good morning, bitches. FYT, go Pack, go. Well, hey, Moneyaplis is in.
Good morning.
Moneyaplis. Jamez is in the comments right now saying that he's going to come on. Yeah, he says he wants me to throw the StreamYard link in there. He wants to have a talk. I think
this is the earliest Jamez has been out of bed in 10 years.
But we'll definitely get him in there. We usually do a little bit of talking in here first. Can't wait for the Bears to burn the Lions secondary. Hey, it don't look like that it's going to happen yet. I don't know. The Lions secondary looks pretty sticky right now. Jason Smith says, good morning to everyone. Moneyappolis says, Skull. I love that we have all these other fan bases in here today. I don't know. We might not be able to hold the Lions smack talking for too long in here. But there were a couple unofficial depth charts that came out. And I know that they hate these things. They really do hate these things. But I'm going to throw that up there right here. This is straight from the Twitter right here. And there's a couple of surprises that were on there, but not really. Like guys like Starling Thomas are not only looking like they're going to make the team, but they may actually compete for meaningful playing time. What do you think about that?
Well, I can't see what you're seeing, but I'm intrigued. Is Jack Campbell listed as a starter?
Let me look at the defense. You got Alex Anzalone and Derek Barnes are listed as the starter. Jack Campbell, Malcolm Rodriguez are the number 2s right now. But this isn't this isn't really anything. Right now, they're saying that in practice, guys like Brian Branch, I'm telling you, this guy is going to force his way onto the starting lineup because Jerry Jacobs was the starting slot guy, but Brian Branch has been playing so well that they moved Chauncey Gardner back to the full-time safety with Kirby Joseph as the other safety. Brian Branch is the starting slot with Tracy Walker coming off as the rotation safety. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that this team and this regime does not care a single bit about seniority. The best players are going to get on the field and they're going to start and they're going to play. And we saw that last year with Malcolm Rodriguez, Jared Davis, some of these guys that thought that they were just going to be penciled in because they're competing against a rookie. But it's all about how much you put in camp and what you show the coach and your desire to play. And Brian Branch, is anyone really surprised that this kid's showing out?
Actually, out of the 5 guys that they selected that they wanted to be impact players, he was actually one of the ones that we thought were going to be on the back of that depth chart a little bit because we were deep at safety. I think everybody expected Kirby Joseph and Tracy Walker to be the starting safeties with Gardner Johnson being the slot corner. I mean,
well, I never considered Tracy Walker like an elite safety, even in the top 10 in the league, maybe even the top half of the league. Obviously they over CJ Gardner Johnson. So the Lions might know something that we don't.
Well, Tracy Walker last year was the captain of the defense going into that second game before he got injured. So, and he was playing well up into that point. And it just speaks to the depth that the Lions have at that position. And then you got guys stepping up like, Starling Thomas and, this is good. Kyle says that if Jerry Jacobs can head his own secondary, should be lethal, especially when Mosley comes back. Shoot, we hadn't even talked about Mosley yet. That's good, man. I love that. Jason Smith says, I love what Gibbs is showing as well. Did you see the toasting of that New York Giants linebacker on that deep pass to Jahmyr Gibbs? Tell me you saw that.
I did see it. And you know what I took away from that was that incredible burst that he has. If he can get you to stop, you're not going to catch him. Because once he turns it on into that second gear, his acceleration from the stop was so impressive in that clip. And I know that was a second or third string linebacker that he was cooking in that video. But he looks like it's in fast forward when he comes off the stop and starts to accelerate. A linebacker in the league that's able to hang with him.
Yeah, there's 0 linebackers in the league that can cover him. But by looking at that, you're going to have to put a cornerback on him or it's over. Because in
2 seconds, Russ, he was 10 yards. He was separated by 10 yards from that guy.
Yeah, and as a Lions fan, I mean, Javid Best was fast, but Jahmyr Gibbs is a lot faster than Javid Best, isn't he? Like, I haven't seen speed like that coming out of the backfield, like ever in a Lions uniform. Barry wasn't even that fast. I know this isn't like we're not going to compare him to Barry as the running back, but it's just straight speed. Barry didn't run away from too many people, maybe at the beginning of his career, but not like this.
He got caught from behind a lot.
Yeah. No one's catching Jahmyr Gibbs from behind. 0 people. You're going to be looking at the back of that jersey. And yeah, that's a great call, Jason.
You like that?
That is a great call. Manny says that Mosley, Gardner, Walker, Sutton will be the starters week 1. Okay. Mosley hasn't even played yet, and there are some guys that are balling that are in front of him. You would want to have the best guys that are out there, right, Manny? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Go ahead,
Well,
Mike.
I think he's assuming that those are going to be the top 3 guys, and I think that's valid. We will obviously have to wait and see, but Mosley, Sutton, and Gardner Johnson, though obviously that's what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes had in mind when they brought those guys in. But training camp will sift through all of that, and we'll see. The cream always rises to the top.
It absolutely does. Adam says, good morning. It's nice to hear Barry Sanders talk yesterday about the Lions. Yeah, I had some glowing things to say about this organization now being a lot like, the organization that was there when they were competing, saying that there's a lot of similarities there.
Yeah, even Pat McAfee was giving a ton of love to the Lions yesterday.
So, but this is, we're just talking about practice, right?
Playoffs.
Does that mean, what does that really mean? They got to prove it on the field. I'm sure that's what John Dorn's going to come in and he will say, Barry autocorrect. Okay. Jason Smith says, ooh, he served him. And Kyle says that Gibbs had like 10 yards of separation on that linebacker. Yeah. Putting that on tape. Yeah. Don't try to cover Gibbs with a linebacker. That is what that'll say. There's nobody that's going to be able to cover him from the linebacker position.
And we're talking about week 1, you've got Willie Gay and Bolton, a couple of really fast linebackers for Kansas City. So it will be interesting in week 1 to see if those guys can hang with Jahmyr Gibbs. And I'm sure they'll test the water. But there's just that clip we saw where he stopped and then he started again and he accelerated away from the linebacker. There's so many different directions that play could go. And no matter how you play it, would we that and you can catch the way this kid can? There's almost no way to defend that if the play call is right.
Right on. And Brent says, any update on Emmanuel Mosley's estimated return? He's supposed to be back in the building next week. I don't know what that means as far as like where he's at practicing, but he was on the NFI list or the PUP, one of the two, whichever one that means that they can activate him right off the bat. And he was activated, so he'll be in the building, but they don't know if he's going to even be ready for week 1, which obviously right now it seems like that's okay. Manny says that Gibbs is Javid Best 2.0. Anything on that?
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope he's Javid Best 100.
Well, here's the thing is, if you say he's Javid Best 2.0, I would love him to be Javid Best 2.0 as long as it doesn't come with the Javid Best injuries, because Javid Best was killing, but he just couldn't stay on the field. That was a concussion thing, wasn't it? He just kept on getting concussions until he was done.
So his frame was so slight. Jahmyr Gibbs is built a lot thicker.
Right. I don't think that you can compare them from an injury standpoint. Yeah, I think Gibbs is a much better game breaker. It looks like he's got the total package a lot more than Javid Best does. Jason,
I might buy a Jahmyr Gibbs jersey. I just hope it doesn't turn out like my Kevin Jones jersey.
Yeah, he is going to be a severe weapon, says Jason. And Ken chimes in and says, "Isn't it nice to have a coming draft picks already challenging for starter roles? I believe last year we produced 4 or 5 starters," says Ken Fisher. Thank you for the comment. You got that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good call out.
I love that, because, and that's what you really want, especially when we're in this trash talking group. They tell us, well, you can't depend on these rookies. Okay. I mean, but what if they're challenging? What if they're coming in for these starting roles? And I do believe you're talking about a lot about like Brian Branch, because that's the one that has been standing out. Like when I listen to like Locked On Lions, Pride of Detroit, On the Prowl, all of them that were at the training camps were saying the same things, that Brian Branch was playing like he had a chip on his shoulder. Like he's pretty pissed off that he was picked at 45 and not in the first round where his talent was. And I love that call. I'm going to give you a couple on that, because that is good to see. Thank you for the comment, Ken. Kyle says, less than a month away from opening day, and I get to be there at Arrowhead for it. Can't wait, Kyle. Yes.
You like that.
I'm jealous. I'm going to have to be really jealous on that one. You jealous, Mike?
So here's my question. Here's my question for you, Russ. Are you excited for a preseason game this year?
I am. I'm very excited because we have a deep team.
Have you ever been excited for a preseason game?
Have I ever been excited for preseason? Yeah, for sure. I have. It depends. For me, it's exciting to see the depth guys. So maybe I'm a little more dorky of a football fan than everybody else, but I want to see, like I said, I want to see Brian Branch. I want to see Starling Thomas. I want to see this kid play, right? I want to see Teddy Bridgewater. I want to see Jameson Williams. Like, yes, this is a very, very exciting preseason for Lion fans.
Right. And isn't that amazing? I mean, I get where like your viewer's saying he's going to Arrowhead. Of course, we're all pumped up for week 1 of the regular season, but I cannot remember a time in my life, and it's been a long life, trust me. I cannot remember a preseason where I'm going to be glued to the TV on the first series of the first preseason game. And I can't ever remember a time that it was like that as a Lions fan.
Yeah, I mean, just look back at this last the Hall of Fame game where you had the Jets versus. I mean, nobody wants to see any of those backups, but the Lions are actually such a deep team that you actually want to see the backups. I want to see these backups that would be starting, for half of the teams in the NFC North. We're going to let go of guys that the Bears are probably going to fall over themselves to come and try to grab.
You like that.
But Manny says, yeah, I'm going to go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, I love that comment. Because the Bears are out there bragging. Bears stand number 1 on the waiver claim wire. So yeah, they're going to have first dibs at all of our cast-offs.
Yeah. Romeo Okwara is better than Yannick. And that's a fact. And it could be a painful one too. As Manny says, yeah, for sure. Mosley is out now for good measure. They know what he brings. So it's an opportunity for the young fellas to shine, whether he starts or not. Our depth at DB is the best it's ever been. Great call.
Yes. What a great comment.
You get 5 on that one, Manny.
You like that.
And then Moneyappolis, Jamez is right there, said, I think that he's on the PUP list. And thank you for clarifying that. And I'm sorry for using the Kirk Cousins drop, but I love that you like that. That's the way that we set people up right here. 2.0.
In Minnesota, the PUP list stands for purple underachieving people.
Purple underachieving people. Oh yeah, we got to get. I hope Jamez shows up on the open mic here soon, because it's not. They don't get a chance to talk to you anymore, Mike. It's like they gotta work their way up the rankings. Why don't you plug the Monday night show?
That's great. That's a great call, Russ, because I actually got to jump off. I got to finish writing the song. It just came to me. I wash my hands of these douchebag fans. There it is. There's the lyric. I found it. So yeah, it's NFC North open mic every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We talk a lot of trash, all 4 fan bases. And don't forget, August 17th, it's the re-release of the Main Event 365 podcast show, available anywhere where you find your podcast. Hey, Russ, thanks for having me on. Keep up the good work. God bless you all.
Hey, I appreciate it. Main Event Mike right there. And now comes one of my favorite times of the day where I get to invite the rest of the crowd on here. And I'm going to throw this into the comments. Well, wait a minute. What I'm going to do is I got to bring in Bill the Packer fan, Mike the Bear fan, and we're going to go into start streaming into some of these other ones. Let's get them going. Now we put them in, and now I am putting the link into the comments so that way we can come on here and have a little bit of the conversation if you want to join the conversation. We're talking about Lions training camp, but now that I've opened it up to the rest of the NFC, you guys can come in and talk about whatever you want to talk about. What do you want to talk about? Well, we're talking about these Lions. We're talking about these Lions owning the New York Giants in their joint practice. And it's just practice. I mean, are we going to get too excited about this? I do want to get excited about it because it wasn't just like, oh, wow, we won a lot of the reps. It was from all reports that it was a dominating practice. And the least that you could say is that, the Lions definitely got the better of it. Now, some of them had said that they just dominated it from team 1 all the way down. So I didn't actually get to see it, but getting back into these comments right here, Manny says the 2.0 is way better than best, meaning way better than best. Okay. I like that. You like that? Thank you for clarifying that. Chad says Gibbs will be a beast. Chad, it's good to see you. And I would love to see you come out to Jesters on Friday and watch me play some acoustic guitar, because that's my day job, doing that well, actually, this is the day job. I guess the music would be the night job. But I appreciate your comment, Chad. Erica says that I wish I could find a Lions game out of market without Sunday ticket. I am ready for this year. We may be able to have a way for you to do that, Erica. So stay tuned. Thank you for the comment. Calvin says that how is the D looking after the first joint practice? Well, Calvin, the defense looks dominant after the first joint practice. And as a matter of fact, when I'm looking at this depth chart, Calvin, the defensive tackle, the defensive ends, it is just insane depth to where, our third team defense was destroying their third team offense because there's just no answers. There isn't starter quality offensive linemen, and they're going up against guys like poor third string offensive linemen for the Giants having to go up against James Houston. Okay. Or having to go up against Josh Pascal. I'm sorry. You're going up against Charles Harris. These guys on the second and third team have no chance against this quality. And then when they move these guys up into the starting rotation, like Charles Harris, and they dominate the first teams too. So, and the defense looks so much better than it did last year, Calvin. It's great to see. And it's not just one player, When they brought in Trey Flowers a few years ago, everybody got excited about that. Oh, yeah, we got this guy. He's going to be out there. This is different. It's almost like you got all of these guys that can come in and do stuff. And they fight, and they're scrappy. So when he said on the way up, they're going to bite a kneecap, that's a mentality, guys. And the Lions are going to be a tough out. And even if you get the victory, you're going to know that you fought somebody by the time the game is over. Derek says, how trustworthy is Love? All right, we got a question for one of the other fan bases right there. Jordan Love. Jordan Love is either going to be a gigantic bust or he's going to be the NFL's best kept secret. You know, I mean, there are some people that think that he's going to be, you know, if he's average, that the Green Bay Packers could win a bunch of games. And I don't think so. I think that he has to be as good as Rodgers to be 8-9. So if he's average, I'm thinking you're going to win 5-6 games with Love. He needs to be good. He needs to be good. Derek says 15 to 20 interceptions for Love. That depends on the offensive line, really. If they can keep him clean with a running game, I mean, Love could be good. I mean, we have no idea what Love is. I don't want to know what love is. I want you to show me. You got to show me, right? You got to show me. I think I lost half my viewers right there. Just trying to. Chad says with Montgomery at 1 and Gibbs at 2, it's great run game this season. You know, I love that call. You like that? Because when Dan was in New Orleans with Aaron Glenn, you know, and, you know, Alex Angelon was part of that. Teddy Bridgewater was part of that. You know, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was part of that. They had 2 running backs there, Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. And they just, they had this beautiful thing there, like a thunder and lightning type of thing. And I think David Montgomery is better than any version of Mark Ingram than he ever was at any point in his career. And Montgomery offers a lot out of the pass game. He's got great hands, and his best attribute is he protects the quarterback in pass protection on a third down. So that's going to be his biggest thing. And then Gibbs, I mean, you saw him torch that linebacker. His whole objective, the only reason they drafted him at 12th overall, is now that they got a thunder of a running back and 220-pound David Montgomery running downhill, you can line Gibbs up anywhere on that field against their weakest player. He can go out there anywhere and catch the pass, and they are using him as a pass catcher. I expect to see them both out there because they're the playmakers. I love that call. You like Thanks that? For the comment, Chad. Bear Down Mike says Bears and the Lions have the best rookies coming last season. I could agree with that. I mean, you got a lot of good draft picks. Ryan Poles has done a good job. I mean, I'm a Lion fan, and I'm going to say Ryan Poles has done a good job at drafting talent. The only problem with the Bears is I don't even know. I mean, you could throw it in. How much do you really trust Eberflus or Eberflus? Can he coach these guys? I mean, nobody outside of the Bears organization and the fans even know who your offensive and defensive coordinator is, unless you're like me, and I have to because it's part of the show. So, I with the Bears and the Lions, as far as talent, I think that Ryan Poles is one of the better GMs in the league, and he's bringing some good dudes in. But we'll see going into the second year. I mean, I did like the Jaquan Brisker pick. I think that he's going to be one of the best safeties in the league. I think he'll be a top 5 guys. I don't know about Gordon. I don't know if I'm sold on him. He started out better than he ended. So we'll see. Tyreek Stevenson, I definitely liked that pick. So we'll see how these guys do coming in. But I know that the Lions rookies from the last season are about ready to take a step. Aiden Hutchinson looks unblockable from all reports. Like, it's completely different. He's went second level with all of his move sets. He got better at his diet, strength, and conditioning. He went through like a pro and got better, which is a good thing. Erica says very excited, and Jason says me too. Thank you. I'm dorky too.
You like that?
I'm liking that. I'm liking that because, at being a dorky guy that just looks at all the stats, we're looking for anything. That's why we love PFF. Derek, welcome to the program right there. Juan says, I hope that fans don't cry if we lose in preseason. Juan, I'm assuming that you're a Lion fan right there. And no one's going to cry over losing in preseason, as we welcome one of my great friends. Out of all the Bear fans in the world, I probably hate you the least, Woody. Welcome to the program, brother.
Say hello to my little friend. Should I take that as a compliment, Russell?
You should take that as a compliment.
Did you say Eber Fluke?
Eber. Like that one? Is that one bad, or is that one?
That's like you're making fun of our coach's name. Eberflus.
Eberflus. But we can agree here, right? I mean, I like Poles as a general manager. I think he's doing a great job at bringing you guys talent. But the big question is, can your coach these guys and, make them into what you want them to be?
I mean, he brought him in from Indianapolis thinking he was going to do something, and he has some of the Indianapolis players on his team. So hopefully he can coach them all up, except for not only for the Indianapolis Colts players. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's hard. That's any given Sunday. I always believe that. So,
right. But I love the parallel that the 2023 Bears have with the 2022 Lions, because here you got a quarterback that nobody believes in outside of the organization, Jared Goff to Justin Fields. You got a bunch of unproven guys. You won 3 games last year. The Lions won 3 games in 2021 going into that season. So there's a lot of these parallels. You have what looks like from the outside a really good draft with a really, really good free agency. So there's a lot of hope in the additions that were there, but it's like, and then you got the unproven coach. Oh, can Dan Campbell, you're going to bite kneecaps? Is he to be a good coach?
He could probably play for you too.
Well, I don't know if Eberflus can play for you guys, but there's a lot of uncertainty there, and he has a chance to, really solidify his name right here and be one of the better coaches if he can get all of this talent to play together.
I think he's on the hot seat as well as Alan Williams too, our defensive coordinator, because of the players that we brought in. If we can't win and I say 7-10, but if we win 3 games again, which I don't see with the favoring the schedule, both of those guys are in trouble. Ryan Poles isn't going to take that. He wants, last year, he, for some stupid reason, guaranteed that we'd win a division. I was like, okay, I got you. Whatever. That's just maybe firing the guys up, but obviously, not a win last year. So I'm interested and how he coaches this year.
I forgot about that. Gosh.
Hey, Russell, this is why I'm here, to remind you of all the stuff you forgot.
That's well, I mean, here I am. I'm pumping this guy up, Ryan Poles. It's like, that was not. I mean, if you're a Bear fan out there, what did you? I mean, you had to have cringed, because I completely forgot about that, and I remember all the guys after you guys. What did you guys start out? You were 1-0. You beat the San Francisco. Were you 2-1 at one point in time?
Yeah, I think we were.
Were you 2-0?
No, I think we're 3-1. No, yeah. Then we lost.
So it's like, oh man, I remember everybody in the NFC North, the huddle, that all the Bear fans were out in droves. They were all saying Super Bowl bound. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, see, after that first game last year against San Francisco, and that was like the flood game, as I call it. We had the Fog Bowl. That could have been the Flood Bowl. And even though it's the first game, people think first game is still preseason with the starters playing. But when we beat San Francisco, I was like, if we can beat one of the top NFC teams right off the bat, maybe they have something going. But I would feel better if they would have beat them like week 9 or week 10 or something like that when it meant something. But I could tell the Bears fans when we beat San Francisco what they were thinking last year. I heard it.
And that was, yeah. But the thing is like San Francisco is one of those good teams, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of those teams that always force you to play ugly. And I've said that before on this program. That's one of those things where like there's a bunch of teams in the NFL, right? Let's say 2/3 of the league wouldn't have a chance really to beat the top third of the league.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because the really good teams with the good defenses, and even if you have a really good offense, you have to learn how to win ugly. You have to go in, even if your offense is the greatest in the world. If you go in, you play a team like San Fran or the New York Jets last year, these guys, they just stop you. And so you have to be good with your own ego, even if you're used to scoring a lot, to, okay, I may only get 1 or 2 chances to get into the end zone, and we got to capitalize on that. And we know that this is that kind of game. And can you win those kind of games? Those are what separate the good teams from the elite teams right there.
I think the closer games mean a lot more than those big blowouts because the blowouts are coming.
Right.
So.
And of course you like those. You love when you can get a good blowout because that makes your fan base feel good and you can beat your chest for a week. But you're not going to get those every week unless you're the 85 Bears. And
you know what though? I saw the stat yesterday. They had the top defenses of all time. The points given up per game. The 86 Bears were better than the 85 Bears. I was like, holy crap. And that's when we lost the Giants in the NFC Championship game. And obviously the 2000 Ravens were number one. But that was an interesting stat that I seen that the 86 Bears gave up less points than the 85 Bears.
Well, honestly, I think, and this is just, when you're looking back through the history, I think that 84 through 87 Bears might have been the best stretch of defense ever played. I think it can rival the Steel Curtain, but they got the hardware to back that up. But I do believe that the league progressively got harder, like decade to decade, just because for one, you're bringing in a new. Football's getting more popular. Now people are training different. Now it's like if you would put one of these new teams up against one of those old school teams, it wouldn't even be close.
No.
Like the Steel Curtain, they couldn't come in and beat Patrick Mahomes. There's zero chance that would happen. When your offensive linemen were, 275 pounds, there's no way. There's no way.
I agree that back then you can't put them up against these teams now can't go up against. I was just talking to a guy at work saying he's a big Laker fan. And I said the 96 Bulls would beat any team right now. And then he said, what about Golden State and, LeBron and Lakers and stuff like that? I'm like, dude, back then they didn't play this zone shit. It was man to man. So I know what you're saying about back then to now.
But even at that, where it's like I wouldn't even agree with that. And it wasn't because of Jordan and Pippen. Jordan and Pippen are probably the GOATs, right? The 1-2 dudes. But it would be like, Cartwright and these big dudes that would just get lit up. They would get lit up by these shooting centers that shoot 3-pointers and that can take it to the rack. What the hell would Bill Laimbeer do against any of these like very fast guys coming out that can shoot on the edge? He would look lost trying to defend a power forward on the 3-point line. Like, and they just go around him. I don't know. I'm one of the people that believe that, sports and nutrition, you had guys smoking in the locker rooms in the 80s. And there's no way. These guys are physically fit, like stronger than ever, taller than ever, bigger than ever. I remember in the 90s when the Dallas Cowboys, they were the first team to actually have all of their offensive linemen were over 300 pounds. Like that was the biggest thing ever. Oh, all these guys are over 300 pounds. Now it's like, if you're not 300 pounds, you ain't shit. Like,
yeah, I know.
You better be 300 pounds, and your interior lineman better be 350, 340, 330. Like you better be able to handle these big nose tackles that are 350 pounds. It's crazy the way the game has evolved. And kudos to the NFL for pulling that off. I mean, this is like a complete generation of people, like kids coming right out through high school, training right, eating right, and becoming the best athletes that they can earlier than they ever have. So,
well, these kids work hard too, and they train hard, because there's a lot of people, or some players in the NFL now, that didn't start playing their football career till they were a senior in high school or the first year of college. Right. Well, decided to go out for the football team and stuff like that. So kudos to the kids and all the players that are, working their asses off to get where they are.
Yep. So let's get into some of these comments here. I think I got a bunch of them in here. So I haven't heard a lot about Jack Campbell. How has he been doing? I mean, that's what, when you come into the training camp type of thing, it's like the fact that you're not hearing about him is okay. He's not standing out, but he is not playing bad. I think what's happening is he's worked his way up to the second team. He has a chance to actually earn one of those starting linebacker positions, and his athletic ability is what's putting him there. So as he starts learning the verbiage and he starts, learning what Aaron Glenn wants him to do, then he can put that stuff together. I think that he's going to be fine. But I haven't heard anything bad about him. I haven't really heard anything great about him either. So it's like,
no news is good news.
No news is good news, I think. Chad says, good to see you two. Me and Miranda planning to get there one of these Fridays. Yeah, I have a local gig here in I'm in Genesee County, Flint, Michigan, and I'm a musician, and I do a dinner show every single Friday from 6 until 9 o'clock. And
what do you sing?
I'm a classic rock guy. I mean, I like Bob Seger. I do a lot of Pink Floyd. I even rap a little bit. I do a pretty good version of In the End by Linkin Park.
Yeah, that's my favorite group. Yeah.
Linkin Park?
Yeah, I actually seen them 6 times. And wow. They were supposed to be out here at Hershey Park, Pennsylvania, with Blink 182, but that's when Chester committed suicide.
Man, I mean, that one affected me a lot too, because
still does.
Me coming up I toured for 20 years, and COVID kind of killed the music business for a lot of people. I mean, there were a lot of big labels and stuff like that could afford to take the big hit for a whole year, but I wasn't one of those people. So I had to figure something else out, and that's kind of what pushed me into what we're doing here now. I just seen Godsmack and Stained last week. Yeah, I've actually got a chance. I've played with Aaron Lewis twice.
Do you really? He plays a lot of acoustics towards out at the casino here.
The funny thing about Aaron Lewis is, like, when he does his acoustic shows, he doesn't like it when Stained fans come out there and request Stained music. He'll tell you off. He will tell you off from the stage. There's a little piece on Aaron, but he's an awesome dude. It's an awesome concert. It's a lot of fun, but you got to prepare yourself for country.
Oh God. I can't deal with it. No.
Eric Thomas says good morning. And that's another Bear fan.
What about me, Eric? Good morning to you too, buddy.
Well, I think that I'm back. I don't think that you were on yet with some of these comments. So, I'm back here. But I thought that I was going to get Jamez on here. Man, I guess I waited too long.
Jamez ain't showing up with me here.
Jamez has an expiration date. Oh man. Jason Smith says, yeah, bring on the old rock songs right there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I do a good version of Cats in the Cradle too, the Cat Stevens version.
2 months ago, because my favorite 80s band, hair bands, was Cinderella. I love Tom Kiefer. They're from Philadelphia. So the Tom Kiefer band played at a club up in Lehighton, Pennsylvania. And, he can still sing. Plus, my wife is bringing her kids to see Guns N' Roses on Friday at Hershey Park. And I was like, I heard Axl Rose sing recently. I was like, no, mine's a hard pass. Thank you.
Yeah, I heard he's a real prick to try to do shows with too. And that's why Guns N' Roses ain't together. But Jerome says, hey, enjoy the show. Do you guys stream the my brother? You keep up to date with everything. So thank you for watching, Jerome. And I try to keep up. I do a little bit of reading every morning, try to get something for all the teams. And right now we're just in the thick of camp. I mean, everybody's practicing and getting ready for the season. So Jason says, you like that? You like that? You like that? I do like that. Even though that's Kirk Cousins' voice, I love that drop. That's so good. Eric Thomas says, it makes me sick that Monty is a Lion.
Yeah. I mean, I like Montgomery. He got punished a lot. I wish him the best. He deserves to go to a team that has an offensive line, even though he broke the most tackles in college as well. And I wish him the best, but what hurt me the most is getting traded to a divisional team. Nobody wants their star players or starting guys from last year going to a divisional team. It just we could have gave Monty $6.5 million. You know what I mean? If you know that we're going to gel up our offensive line for this season coming up, I would have kept Monty. I don't know if he wanted to go to a place that he didn't get beat up so much.
Right.
But we'll see. Would it hurt?
But Foreman's a capable back. I don't mind that. And then the Roschon Johnson, that I think that's going to be an undersold pick. I agree with you on that. I really like that because he doesn't have a lot of miles on him. And
I still like Herbert. I still think he's going to be.
Oh yeah, that's Greg Rice guy.
Virginia Tech. Him and Foreman, I think, are going to be fighting for the starting job. Foreman did run good last year for Carolina. Roschon is big. I think he might be like a third down back or something like that, or getting in, because we like to fluctuate some of the running backs last couple of seasons. So I'm interested in seeing how Roschon Johnson does during preseason.
I feel that too, because the stuff that I've read in your camp is that he's right there with Foreman. I mean, he's competing. He may actually get carries early and often. So I like that. So I really do like the Monty pick because
of course.
I mean, really, when we were looking at getting who's the guy that went, not Roschon, his other guy, that was Bijan. So I wanted Bijan too, but then when you look at, after the draft, you're looking at it. I had no idea that Montgomery was a 225-pound back. I mean, when he moves out there, it doesn't look like he's a 225-pound back. So I like that because that's power. I mean, he can run with power. He protects the quarterback. That's a
good blocker.
Reason. Yeah, you can keep him out there on third down, and it's not a liability. And he can catch the ball out of the backfield, which is something that we definitely were missing from.
As long as, like I said, as long as he doesn't do that halfback pass shit, you're good.
Michael says that I have a feeling that Gibbs is going to play a Deebo Samuel type role.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
You like that?
That is a great call. I give that 5 because that's been said a couple times. That was a main event Mike take the minute that we grabbed that, because it was a reach, right? But it's like this guy can play wide receiver. And I don't know if you saw him catch the ball when he burnt that. It's not like he looks – usually when a running back catches the ball, it almost looks like it's unnatural. He's got a natural just graceful way of catching the ball. He watches it go into his, like, it has the great form in there. So I like that call because I don't think he's going to be running the ball like, 20 times a game or something like that. If people think that they're just going to give Gibbs the ball 18 times a game and they're going to also pass him the ball 10 times, it's not going to be like that. That's why they brought
we had a player like that too, to catch it real smooth coming out of the backfield. That's Matt Forte, which he did a lot for us, and I did miss him as well. But he was great catcher out of the backfield.
Ooh, I like that call too. That's a good off-brand. He could be like that too. Erica says, I agree. I'm excited to see preseason. Almost bought a ticket to a preseason game in North Carolina. NC fan. Awesome. Thank you for watching the show. Oh, we got another person backstage. Welcome to the program, Will. How you doing?
Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, I like my new my Scarface drop right there to let everybody. But you got a comment on training camp so far? Joint practices?
Joint practices are always fun to watch. I know players are ready to play against real teams instead of playing against their own teammates. It means football is one step closer. It gets you prepared for the regular season. Yes, you're not always playing the same guys, but also it just gives you a sneak preview of that team, whether it's their first string, their second string, their third string. But it gives you a preview of what that team potentially will and could be looking like. So, yeah, I think joint practices are crazy, cool. Yes, there's a lot of fights that have happened in the past, but guess what? It's football. Fights happen.
Yeah, especially when you're playing another team. And I think these guys, after 2 weeks, you're practicing, you're going against the same guy over and over and over again.
They're like, I want to play against this dude. I can't wait.
And then you actually get to go up against somebody else, and you're like, yes, finally. Let's see. Eric says, I trust Flus. Right? Is that
Eberflus?
Don't say it. Don't say it, Russell.
I don't want it. Yeah, we'll save the smack talk, and I won't call him Eberfluk again. So, but this year will be a prove it year. Plus, Getsy and Fields. All right. I mean, it is. I mean, you're in there. It is. Eberflus is definitely on the hot seat when it comes with this. I mean, if he doubles his win total, he still may be out the door. Eberflus wouldn't have been my first choice.
Nope.
He was the guy who sets the culture. Okay. Let's see. Erica says, excited to see new play calls from Ben. Yeah, it's exciting to know that the Lions dominated that practice in all three phases.
Ben Johnson's, I bet, yes, more weapons to work with. Yes.
Calvin says it's going to be crazy for Detroit's offense to play with play action with our players. Yeah.
Yeah, it is going to be crazy.
I got a question last night. I won't say who it was. And I was watching training camp, and obviously so they were saying that our defense beat our offense again. Are you worried? I'm like, listen, the offense isn't going to win every day. And if they do, and our defense can't win during training camp, I'd be worried about the defense. So just relax. It's training camp. Gotta have the defense, win at least 1 day or 2 days a week. So please don't worry. I get it. I get questions. I got questions all night last night. I felt like you, Russell.
It's practice, guys. I mean, this isn't anything to get too up or too down about.
Mm-hmm.
And for one, who you guys playing?
Tennessee.
So you guys are doing joint practices with Tennessee?
We were joint practicing with Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
Then we play Tennessee this Saturday.
Okay. So really, you're going to learn a lot more about your team when you get in there and you're playing these guys in a joint practices, then I think the joint practices are more important than the actual preseason game. I mean, you'll get some stats, they're going to keep score and everything like that. But all these little competitions, these one-on-one competitions, these 7-on-7 competitions where these guys are chirping around. And by the way, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson going at Amani Oruwariye saying, you ain't going to cover shit out there. And I mean, I love it. They got the chirping started. Amani Oruwariye was the sole reason that the Lions lost to Minnesota in Minnesota last year. 5 defensive holding penalties in a row on Adam Thielen. You had no answer for Adam Thielen. I'm glad that you're a New York Giant now, Oruwariye. And good for Chauncey Gardner. Get in his face about that. And there was Kirby Joseph and Jacobs right there being like, yep, I know that's right. I know that's right.
Hey, does Detroit play Giants this year?
Well, they're playing them Friday. I mean,
in preseason. Okay.
Just a preseason.
Oh, man.
So we're in. I mean, let's see if it happens, because there's another joint practice today that's happening right now. I don't even know. I might have to look at and see what happened. So hopefully they dominated both days, but I may get off of this broadcast and find out that you guys might come and make fun of me on here tomorrow about how we got owned in practice number 2. Like,
no,
that's why I'm saying don't get too high or too low on this.
No.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brent says, curious how guys we end up putting the practice squad get scooped this year. I think that he's talking about our practice squad guys getting picked up by other guys, and I think that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's bound to happen.
And honestly, and this isn't even a troll on you guys, but we got Romeo Okwara and Julian Okwara, and I think that if the Bears picked up either one of those guys off of our squad, that they may be your best pass rusher. I mean, I like Yannick as a pickup for you guys, but I mean, just looking at his stuff, you know, over the years, you can just see why he lasted so long in free agency. And the question was, you know, who would you have liked better? You know, the Justin Houston or Yannick, and we answered that last week with the Bear fans, and you guys wanted Justin Houston, at least on this show you did.
I did.
And I think that Bear Down Mike was there with you, and we talked about it, and it's just this playing the run thing.
Well, we'll see how he plays, how it pans out in Carolina. They signed him for a year as well.
Yeah.
So who knows? Let's see. You sing "Love Stinks." Brent says, "Love stinks." Yeah.
I'll watch The Wedding Singer tonight for you, buddy.
I have a microphone, and you don't, which means that you will listen to every word that I say.
Oh man, that's
So yeah, you're going to be singing one thing or another. You're either going to be singing "Love Stinks" or "All You Need Is Love."
Yeah,
love is all you need. I don't think we'll be singing that. You weren't on yet. Yeah. Okay. Gosh, I am way behind. I'm gonna move here to the end.
I know. I'm just kidding with you, Eric.
Oh my gosh. Robert says a LMAO. Tell that to Fields, who got sacked 55 times. I think a lot of that was his own doing. I don't know if that's his
37% of his sacks last year were outside the pocket. And I said that was key for this year. If you don't have any running room or you have nobody to pass to, or DJ Moore can't get open or nothing, throw the ball out of bounds. Don't take that sack, because if it could be a field goal, points are points. They're very important.
I agree, Woody.
So Jerome says, what I was trying to say was stream the game this season or regular season. We may have a solution for you that I'm not going to come right out and say it right now, but there is a possibility that we may be streaming the games live this year. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that and offer that to you. So I will keep you updated on that.
And we stream all the Chicago Bears games on Mike the Bear Fan. Just letting it out there.
Yep. And those are the people that are trying to teach me how to do this. I want to make sure that I'm doing it all right before I would.
You listen to Bill. You listen to Bill and Mike.
I'm not. That part of the reason I haven't done it yet. But they do have the trial and error thing down,
Yep.
and they've definitely figured out how not to do it
Mm-hmm.
from what I've heard. Because I drives trucks and I can't catch the game. I feel you on that. I listen to a lot of the games because sometimes I'll be on the road. Let's see. What do you think of that CJGJ talk during Smack? Yeah, we hit that a little bit. Do you watch Hard Knocks yesterday? Yeah, me neither. 65%. John Dorn.
You like that?
John Dorn. Gotta love having you on here. Bill streams all the NFC North games. Okay. So, yeah.
Depends on which, they're on the same time.
Yeah. We do have another page, the NFC North main event, that we don't have as many. You can go over and like all that stuff, please. But like right now, like we're streaming live into Detroit Lions Villain Squad, Detroit Lions News, Bill the Packer fan, Mike the Bear fan, and our YouTube channel. So please go and follow that stuff. Share this. Like if you have the like button near you right now, if you could hit it, because that helps us get into your networks. Your networks are probably sweeter than our networks. So we want to be in your networks better. And we appreciate that because it helps us reach more people, more avid football fans. And you have to be an avid football fan if you're watching a talking head or 3 talking heads on August 9th, a month before the regular season starts. So we appreciate you. But look who we got backstage. We got the man, the myth, the legend. It's A-Dub.
Say hello to my little friend.
How you doing, brother? One of
Guys. What's going on, A-Dub?
One of my favorite Packer fans. And, we have a lot of fun on this show. Do you got any news for us, A-Dub? You just joining the fun?
Very much joining the fun, just listening to you guys is all.
There hasn't been even though the practices have been going, it's like it's been kind of quiet because I'm looking at all these all the sites, and there it doesn't seem like there's a ton. That's why I led with the Lions today, not just because I'm a Lions homer. That's part of it, but not the entire thing, because they had the. Go ahead.
I tell you the most I can say is that as of right now, Green Bay's already started their joint practice with the Bengals.
So they're in the middle of it right now. You guys are in practice number 1, though, right? That's the first joint one?
Yes.
That's awesome. Because that's where you really start to figure out, like, when your defense is going against your own offense, those guys get used to each other. They're repping with each other constantly until you go up against somebody else. You're not going to really get these guys to separate. And Dan Campbell even said that this is the way that this is where a lot of the roster is going to be decided, is in these practices, not necessarily what happens in the preseason game, but what happens in the practices.
Russell, did you see that on the chat and Messenger under main event? Did you see the stats that I posted yesterday?
I didn't. No.
Fox Sports listed the top 10 quarterbacks. 3 of the 4 quarterbacks were in the NFC North. 3 out of the 10.
Wow.
Really?
Yes. Go look at it. I posted it back there last night.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Let me see if I can bring it up on this. That's what I'll do. See if I can't bring it up in the back chat. Yeah, look at him in the back chat. I have to scroll through like 75. Jeremy Ballrick breaks everything in here for us. So that is every single thing. How far do I got to go back?
I don't know, but it has no picture. It just says it looks like a it's like a link.
Oh, okay. Let me see. No, that's Minneapolis. Oh, wait. Rob, no. It's not Rob. No. I'm looking for Woody in here. They must be up a lot. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to. Oh, wait. Is that it? No. All right. I'm going to give up on it because I'm not going to sit here and try to look for that thing. But I'm assuming that it's Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, and Jared Goff.
Correct.
And they deserve to be there. I mean, Kirk Cousins, definitely Kirk Cousins and Goff. I mean, those are two of the most underappreciated quarterbacks in the league. They have always been underappreciated because all they do is play well, and when they play well, the people from the outside love to give credit to the other people, and when they play awful, then that's all their fault. And both of those guys are like that. And Justin Fields is, gosh, man, he's one of the most exciting third-year quarterbacks to go in. And you could actually see him making the jump. I mean, how can you not look at his skill set, rushing for over 1,000 yards, and be like, wow, if this guy could throw a little bit, he'd be dangerous. He's already dangerous.
Yeah, true. I agree with Woody. Yes.
Let's see. Jason says Fields will be off the fields most of the time. Yeah, he's going to have to, and he might be dead by week 5, but he is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So
he is exciting.
Eric Thomas says, when I'm not at work, I want to join y'all. Yeah. Please join us on Monday nights. That's where we can get some good smack talking in. That's our evening show. Every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. We bring them all in and we talk a little bit of smack.
Can't wait to be on this Monday. I don't have to work.
Let's see. Daniel says that any news on D-line targets for the Lions? I heard rumors of Chris Jones, but I didn't think much of it. Yeah, I wouldn't think much of that either. I mean, the Lions don't need it. I think they like the guys that they have. They drafted a guy in the 3rd round. They brought in Chris Covington. You re-signed Isaiah Buggs. Aleem McNeil looks like he's going to make a jump to the 3rd year. It's like you can bring another guy in. That'd be fine. Competition. There's nothing wrong with competition, but there's no defensive line targets out there. You'd have to pay for Jones.
Exactly.
He has an injured contract year, so he's he's like he's like TJ Hawkinson. You know, he had a contract injury, and oh my gosh. Detroit Fan Man says, so I am at the Fox Sports 2023 top 10 QB rankings. Who are the best NFL quarterbacks? Patrick Mahomes, and I don't see Justin Fields, Cousin, and Goff are tied.
Let me find it. Hold on.
Goff and Cousin. It's funny that they make them tied. You know, you know, isn't it? It's like if they're going to disrespect them, they might as well disrespect them both at the same time, right?
Yeah, literally.
It's like, gosh, man, they don't run. They're not looking exciting when they get out of the pocket, so they must not be good. It's like that's like 3 plays a game where you're going to have to escape the pocket. The other times you just have to be a good quarterback that throws it to the guy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, Bear Down Mike says, Woody just homer a little.
Playoffs.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, gosh, I love that. We love that Woody is at least realistic.
Yep.
I mean, somebody's got to keep you guys in line. You guys predicting 13 games out there. That's ridiculous.
Hell yeah.
I mean, even if you could get that, it's like when you predict it and you just hit it, you feel like you ran a really long race and you barely made it. God, I mean, at least Woody can get out there. You know, he predicts 7 games. He'll get the 7 games on the way to 13 and be like, oh, look, man, I guess they were better than I thought. And then he gets to, and he still gets to be happy if that happens.
Yep.
Did we lose? Woody's all frozen. He's got that. It looks like he's, you know, he's eating the Cracker Jacks right in the middle of it. No. All right.
Yeah, he
Well,
does. look for
I'll pull him out for the time being because I haven't got to talk to a Dub yet all that much, or I haven't really talked to Will yet. Let's. Gosh, I don't even know. I don't even have a good question for you guys right now. What are you looking for in this preseason game where you're let's go into the joint practices. Let's go into the joint practices. Who do you want to see step up that might be your guy? Because I ask this question every day, but it could change every day.
If I have to pick out somebody that I would hope step up at the most, it'll have to be Luke Musgrave. I've been seeing so much talk about his athletic ability and what he can offer in terms of his potential playing the tight end position, and I think it has to be better on display for him, especially since he's supposed to be our tight end 1 this year. So yeah, I'm looking to see more out of him.
Yeah, but when you guys pick those 2 good tight ends in that second round, man, I mean, maybe it was just taking 2 lottery tickets and you're like, one of these guys is going to be good, like, and putting them out there.
We had to get to as far as to make up for what we lost at the tight end position before. Like, our tight end room was kind of thin, so we had to pick up more than one.
Yeah.
So what I'll say to Will is that I'm looking at the unofficial Lions depth chart, and right now Brock Wright is listed as the number 1 tight end. But you probably would you expect Laporta to be that number 1 tight end by the end of training camp?
I don't know, because what I've heard is Brock Wright's a really good blocking tight end. And I don't know. It's a lot of pressure putting a rookie as a number 1 tight end. But at first, if I'm the Lions, I would definitely put Brock Wright as the starting tight end, because then you have a safety. It's more safe than just saying, "Hey, Laporta, yeah, you're great and all," but just throwing him out there, letting him just get fed by wolves. Put in a guy who has experience, and if Laporta does better than him in like practices during the week or gets better during the preseason, then yeah, you can start Laporta.
Well, what's been happening in the practices is Sam Laporta is practicing, and he is the best tight end on the field from all counts. They're saying that this kid is looking like he's going to make an impact day 1 in the pass game. Looking sweet.
He's great.
These are just, when I'm looking at this is just from Twitter, it's their way too early depth chart type of thing. I think this is just in typing. Like, okay, we're just putting this guy here just because he was the guy last year. But
yeah,
I fully expect Sam Laporta to be the starting tight end.
Oh, if I was in charge of the Lions personally, I agree. I would start Laporta, because look what he did in college. This guy's great.
So Bear Down Mike says everyone forgets Justin was the 4th in QBR after week 7. I want your comment on that, Woody. Like, this is something that a lot of Bear fans are hanging on right here. Oh, it's good.
Well, by the way, that link I sent you, Russell, in your messenger, it was the top 15. Kirk Cousins at 6, Goff at 8, or I think Kirk Cousins was at 7, Goff was at 9, and Justin Fields was at 13th. But I did send it to your link or your messenger. It's good and bad, because I wish he could play like that all year round. But a lot of teams, a lot of people say it's how you finish. And like I said, it's good that he came back, and it's not like we won a lot of games. Actually, we won 3. I'm just hoping that these passing yards that he's going to have this year turn into wins. And like I said, I said that we'll be 7-10 this year, but after week 7, like I said, it's good and bad. I wish he would play like that all season long, but we'll see what happens this year. Hopefully it starts from week 1.
All right. So I found this, that what you were looking at right there. Is this what you were?
Yep.
So, and the thing is, like, and I'm going to respond to this. Bear down, Mike. You know, he was 4th in QBR after week 7, but here's the thing: is you won 0 of those games.
Yep.
I mean that it's like praising the leading tackler on a team that can't play defense. Oh, I had 130 tackles. Well, yeah, okay, that's cool. I mean, you can have a good QBR, but I remember when you played the Lions at the end of what was a 41-10. Like you're lopping that game into that. I mean, he had a good QBR in that game. I mean, I don't know. I think that's probably what he's asking you to do. He wants you to be a homer. But let's look at this list, man. I want to look at this.
And I disagree with this list totally.
I do too. I 100%.
There is no way. And you know, I'm one of the biggest Bear fans you'll know. And like you said, Russell, I'm a realist. Trevor Lawrence is every day better than Justin Fields. You take Justin Fields' rushing yards away. Justin Fields is 31st, maybe 32nd in the league.
Right.
Don't put him up there above Trevor Lawrence when Trevor Lawrence was like, not the comeback player of the year. It was like worst to first, and it was Trevor Lawrence. There's no way Trevor Lawrence is below Justin Fields right now. No way.
And I agree. How is he below Tua? And how is he below Geno? Like, yeah, Geno had a great year last year, but this year, it's do or die. You have to be good again because you have Jackson Smith.
I mean, Fox Sports is my favorite place to watch a football game.
Oh,
but if they're going to have asinine people putting these lists together, I might not watch.
Yeah, that list is terrible because that's basing off Geno Smith last year. I think Geno Smith's average. I don't think he's better than Trevor.
So in the defense of the list, the best quarterbacks in the NFL as voted on by the players. So who are the dumbasses that are coming up with this list? These are the people that are actually playing against these guys.
Yeah.
If I'm going to trust any list on planet Earth, it's going to be this list. And I disagree with the Dak. I mean, how the hell is Dak Prescott up that high?
How is Tua up that high?
How is Lamar Jackson up that high? Like, the guy needs to play. Like, how are you going to put 2 injured dudes on this list? Isn't availability one of these abilities? That doesn't obviously matter.
I swear, that list is just bad.
But I mean, these are voted on by the players, so they're obviously not going to put, ability or the availability part into that. I think these guys are just talking straight talent. I really don't have any.
Yeah, could be
any problem with Mahomes and Hurts. No problem there. No problem with Burrow. No problem, Josh.
I got a problem with Hurts. He's from Philly. That's what I have my problem with.
He played in the Super Bowl. I mean, when you look at the top half of that list, I don't have too many. I would actually put Cousins ahead of Justin Herbert. But gosh, I mean, the guy won 13 games last year and is a clutch dude. I mean, what can you say?
I mean, he is. To me, he is the best in the league in play action pass. Kirk Cousins, he can sell that to no problem at all. I know.
Oh my God, I love you, John Dorn. Oh,
what do you say?
Your team is only as good as I got to read it. I got to do my John Dorn impression. Your team is only as good as your quarterback. Fields is garbage. That was a great impression.
You know what? He does not say anything bad about Green Bay at all. Nothing bad. They could be 0-17, and he would still make fun of and insult other teams in that division.
Oh yeah, easily.
Anthony Stewart, the Bear fan, I know he's a Bear fan, says 10-7, right?
Now he's a homer.
So, and that's well, I mean, 10-7, that's not, I have that at the top end if everything goes right for the Bears. That you could get there, probably not more like 9-8, but like, oh my gosh, let's see. Russell Wilson should be on the top of the list too.
Did he? Oh my God. Did anybody watch him last year in Denver? Anybody?
Exactly. Not with the performance.
Only the people that lost their fantasy football leagues.
Oh yeah. I mean, with Sean Payton there, I'm thinking that's gonna be a better team.
Oh, it should be.
Russell Wilson is probably from last year is 15th through 20th. No way he's up there.
Lawrence is exactly.
Now, Cousins won 13 games and it took them where?
You like that?
I love these type of takes. It's almost as like you can't celebrate what you did good last year because you didn't do good, and in the playoffs. It's like he still went and won 13 games and got to the playoffs and won the division. So, I mean, Cousins is a good quarterback, and this is the type of thing that I mean. It's like we make excuses. Go, okay, well, he hasn't won anything, so that makes him bad. And it's like, well, he won the division. The division is something. That's not. It isn't Super Bowl or bust, because if that's the case, then every team in this division sucks. No good teams in this division. 0 good teams. What are you going to do? Tell me that Green Bay won in 2010? I mean, come on. 13 years ago. Stop it. That's a decade. I mean, I lived an entire lifetime in 13 years. It's like, no, nobody can say that. No, the division means something. The NFC North means something. If you win the NFC North, you deserve your praise. I'll give it to Cousins.
You like that?
I'll give you a double on that. But
Especially the divisions are especially, it's great to be winning a division, especially if you're only going to have one team come out of that division. It's very important to win it. Because this year I'm thinking, am I a Bears fan? Anthony, get off please. I'll eat you up any day of the week. Anyway.
I'll take Woody. I'll take.
He doesn't want none of this smoke.
I'll take Woody.
None of this smoke. He doesn't want none of this smoke. But anyway, it's very important to win a division, because I think this year there's going to be only the division winner out of the NFC North. That, like I said, depends on the Giants, on how they play, because there could be 3 teams coming out of the NFC East this year. So very important to win a division, any division. Yeah. Doesn't matter how many playoff teams are going in.
So what did they win?
Well, you could say, with that being said, if it's 3 teams coming out of the NFC East, that just leaves 1 spot available in the playoffs. Like that 7th seed will just
playoffs. You never know.
Let's say Justin threw more TDs than Wilson and Daniel Jones. Okay, all right.
But Daniel Jones ate us up, because I was at that game last year. 3 rushing touchdowns on fakes. Daniel Jones beating us. So,
yeah.
Who is Russell Wilson? Fred says, "Who is Russell Wilson?" Yeah, you wouldn't have known that he played in the league last year.
Nope. And I'm glad the Bears didn't trade for Russell Wilson, because that was in the talks too.
And that the Denver Broncos are wishing that the Packers would have been willing to get rid of Rodgers last year, because I'm sure that they would have wished they would have had Rodgers on that team rather than Russell Wilson at this point.
Yeah,
so, especially given the compensation they gave us, they try to offer for Rodgers.
I only.
No, you're not. I'd light you up. I've been a fan since '74. He's coming.
Okay.
Coming at you.
Okay. Hey, how about Sunday's show? Come on, and you tell me what you got.
There you go.
Hey.
That does this right here. Let's do that. Go ahead and plug the show. Tell him where to go on Sunday.
Yeah, Hallis Hall Report. Come join us on Wednesdays and Sundays. Wednesdays is 7:30 Central Standard Time, and Sundays 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we're only doing Sundays right now up until the season, so come out and join us.
So there you go. You're going to be talking about a preseason game on Sunday, and Anthony can come out and show his skills. Show you his skills.
I just love when people bring up, well, I've been a fan since 74. I've been a fan since 60. Who cares about the past? Talk about now. You said
Exactly.
I'll admit this is that we had a little bit of a spat saying that he wouldn't pick a running back in the first round. He's like, no. Who's he pick? Roshan Johnson. So Kai talks out of his. Don't get me started. Thank you.
I just spoke with Mike Monday, and I told him that I'd be there. Hey, that's cool. That's what we want. We want good football conversation on here. And, there is some trash talking. The thing is like when you're running a program like you guys run, it's just for the Bears. What you're going to do is you're going to naturally, it happens. You divide your fan base. There's people that believe in the team. There's people that don't believe in the team when it comes down to it.
That's funny. Wilson.
Yeah, it's a volleyball.
Yeah.
The Castaway. Wilson.
That's great.
Oh, man. I think that we're getting up against it. That you can tell when we get tired, we get cranky at the end of the show. And, and it's always nice having A-Dub, having you on here, Will, having you on here, Woody.
Appreciate it.
We do this every single morning, at least on the weekday mornings. And we're hoping to have something to report. I may pop on here later if there's something cool that comes out of camp today. But this is NFC North Talk with Russell Wayne. We did cover a lot of the Lions stuff today because they were the only ones that had a joint practice to actually report on. So we hit that up today. But we're hoping that you guys can come in here tomorrow, 11 a.m. That's Eastern time. That'd be 10 a.m. in the Central time. Jump on here with us from Will and A-Dub and Woody. And I am Russell Wayne. This has been the main event. This has been NFC North Talk with
Peace out.
Wayne. God bless you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.